I want to welcome everybody to the kickoff for January 2025 for the roundtable discussion. We got a good blend of board members, communication officers, directors, reps, and volunteers. So we got a good group tonight. Some things I wanted to cover that's on the invite itself for tonight's meeting. The BOI filing has been stayed again in the Fifth Circuit Court. William is a CPA and me as a business owner of H&R Block. We're following this kind of religiously. On this is the sole proprietors, LLC, and partnerships that you had to file a BOI is your beneficial ownership information. On the website, you can go scroll right down. It has the link to it, and it kind of gives the information of what's going on right now. To sum this up quick, a police supply company for sheriff's office, I mean everything. They have a company down there that has went to the Fifth Circuit Court, and everything is being held up because of the new administration coming in. They've pushed off the deadline till January 13th. Then the Fifth Circuit got crushed, and the government come back and said yes, it's active again. They pushed it off to 13th, and now they've went back again, so everything's in a stay. So if you're a small business owner, please look into this or get this done because the filing fee, or not the filing, but to file it is free, but anytime after that, if that goes back into effect, it's a fine of $500 per day and up to a few $1,000s on top of that. And please, on this, go to their official website. If you don't go to their official website, what happens? There's a lot of other websites in the kind of limbo of people and scammers, not a third party website. And what it is people asking you to give your personal information. This is your social security number or your EFIN number, and give it to them, and they'll do it on your behalf. If you're a simple LLC and you're a small business owner, this will take you approximately 45 minutes. The longest part of it is taking a picture of your driver's license and attaching it to it as a PDF, which is pretty easy. If you ever need any help, you can contact William at the treasurer at ohiostatebeekeepers.org or myself as president, and we can help you kind of talk you through it. But go to the site, do the official website. Don't go to a third party on this. And we will keep this page updated until the new administration either says, yes, we're going to follow through with it and make you undo it for small business owners, or we're going to abolish it. So the new administration, it's in their ball. Some other things that OSBA is doing is the Zoom hosting. We already have an account for Zoom, and this is currently under construction. I have a few things to put on this. Zoom hosting is for any Ohio organization. And what we're going to do, we're training people in the background. We already have myself, Roger Meyer, Peggy, Kelly Morris, the secretary, Roger's communication officers. We already host things for these, just like these meetings tonight. What we're going to do is just something else for OSBA and for the members of OSBA, and for the affiliates is going to be free, and for other organizations, every club doesn't have an IT person or all the cables and everything for a camera and a laptop and everything else. There's going to be some things you're going to need. So if you're an Ohio club and you say, hey, I would like to use this to have Randy Oliver, you can actually write to Randy Oliver, contact him. He'll talk to your club for $150. Tom Seeley, he used to be about $1,000. Now he's down to $200. You could actually have him come to your club via Zoom and talk to your board, or a training meeting or something like that. And there's a lot of other people that do that. We also have a page I'll refer to after this, that there's other board members, and there's also board members on OSBA and throughout Ohio. We are our recommended speakers or our freelance speakers. We just changed the name of that you can have them come on Zoom. Your person on your side would only have to have a laptop, a projector, and then at least some kind of Wi-Fi or Cat 5 cable where they could plug into the building. So if your building has Wi-Fi where you're at, you have a laptop and some type of projector to project this onto a wall or a screen, you can have Zoom. Zoom is about a $190 program, so we're going to take this cost in the middle. We're just trying to offset this a little bit and use it as a service. So to use this, any Ohio organization per the event is going to be $25. We'll host it. OSBA is going to be the middleman. So you're going to contact Tom Seeley, or you're going to contact the speaker and say, hey, we would like you to talk on January 15th. I'm just going to say for that date. OSBA, with our people, we have 6 trained right now. We'll possibly have 9 here in the next couple of weeks after we get those trained. And we're going to be the middleman that you're going to send an email to zoom-hosting@ohiostatebeekeepers.org. We're going to give you the Zoom link, the date, the time that you set, and we're going to send that back out to you. That's going to be in this document down here below once it becomes active in the next day or two. And we're going to send you the Zoom link. It's your responsibility to send it back out to Randy Oliver or the speaker and to your membership. You can put it in social media. I would just be hesitant about putting the whole thing into a public venue, because then you have everybody in the world, and you might have other people that jump in your meeting and then start broadcasting and screaming and doing other things. So they're going to interrupt your meeting. But if you have a private email that you send to your membership, or a private Facebook page where you can post this, it'd be a good time to send it out to your membership the night of the host. So it's like, say it's me, that host, whoever it is going to be 30 minutes early to troubleshoot, make sure you have the link, make sure the sound sounds good. Then the speaker can come on, and then the party, then everybody can join that meeting, and you host that meeting. So pretty well, the description's pretty well laid out. Any Ohio organization, the cost is going to be $25 for that per event. So if you have them on January 15th and you want to have Tom Seeley for $200 and your club says yes, we'll be the middleman in that. For OSBA affiliates, and those are the affiliates that have joined OSBA under our affiliate program, it is free per that event. And the document down below, I'll just give you a brief census on this. It's just going to have date, time, who is the person that's going to be hosting this, who is your speaker going to be, and then when we send the link back out, it'll be just like the link that you see on other things that OSBA does. It'll have the virtual, where you can do in with a smartphone, a laptop, PC, or those phone numbers that are also on Zooms that you can log into or call. Type in that number, and it'll let you turn around and listen to it via phone. So old school, people can pick up the phone at home, call those 800 numbers or the free toll-free numbers, and use #6 to unmute themselves. They can ask questions, and you have a nice presentation right there that you can do it. The other speakers I was going to turn on talk to you real quick about is under resources. Right now we have it under recommended speakers. Here's other speakers. We're not saying that one's better than the other. They're put in here at random. You can have Barb Bletcher go in there and talk about all kinds of diseases or different things that she talks about. So each speaker has their contact information. If you go to their PDF, it's a one-click system. And then it has Barb's information, the OSBA rate, whatever she has for traveling. So she'll also come in person. Her Zoom rate is $50. She does not have a Zoom account, so you would have Barb's fee of $50, and then OSBA's, if you're not an affiliate, of $25. So you'd have $75 to have Barb Bletcher come to your club. But she does have a laptop and a jump drive, and here's those talks, those top 6 talks that she does. So if you go back on that, you got Dave Noble does a lot of good talks. Myself, Peggy Garnes, Mark Boer, Roger Meyer does an excellent talk about chemicals and a lot of different things. Jeannie Som does it about propolis and hive products, that how to collect the propolis and what to do and all those different products that she sells. Ray Wirt is a traveling speaker. Peggy Garnes was ex-president, past president. Dave Noble does all kinds of stuff. So there's a nice list of all those other speakers that you can do. And the committee is having a meeting on January 15th to update these speakers and try to get more in there. And if you know somebody that has that wow factor and you go, wow, that person really deserves to be a traveler or I forgot the name what we're going to change it to, but a speaker, they can download this information. They can fill this out. And all we ask is that speaker at least has 5 years of experience and has a little bit of knowledge about talking about bees. We're not going to accept or advertise somebody that's a first-year beekeeper and says, oh, I know all about bees. We're going to try to kind of put a deadline on or an extension on that at least 5 years experience and at least has done other talks that they're not giving something left or right wing that could kill some bees. We're all about keeping healthy bees. Let me go back to the other on this. So that's right underneath education. The resources, we also have submit an event this year. Any club that wants to advertise with OSBA and put it on our calendar or our information, and it kind of does a multiple of things in one click. So OSBA, and this is just a rough number. So our website receives over 20,000 clicks on the general public, newbies and new beekeepers and local beekeeping organizations, educational classes and events. So in January, February, and March, our website goes absolutely nuts. About 24,000 clicks in those first 3 months, then it kind of tapers off after that. That was before COVID. Right after COVID, it dropped down to about 18,000 and it's starting to build back up the other side. So I just took the last 5 years, kind of put it out and divided it up. It's roughly 20,000. So if you want to use this as your club and you go, hey, I want to submit an event and I want it on the OSBA calendar of events and I want it on the social media of OSBA. We're going to offer that to all the clubs, Ohio organizations, and this is clubs. If you're a one or two person and you want to advertise your event, we're not going to do that. So we're not trying to say we can't promote just one person holding a class. So if it's a club, an organization, master gardener event, anything that has to do with our bees, keeping healthy bees, you could submit an event. Same thing down below. It's going to have the time, who's responsible for the contact information, who's responsible for setting it up, and you can send in a PDF or advertisement with that, and we will put that on our social media. So if I come over here to our social media and come over to Facebook, and internet's a little slow tonight. So OSBA. So if you submit that event, Peggy Yale, and there we have two other people for a backup on that. So right here, Greater Grand Lake monthly meeting, January 14th, first meeting. I'm going to go down and talk to them about backyard queen rearing. And then she's going to be putting those topics in, photos, information. You're going to see all these different things that are going to load up. Knox County Beekeeping Association Advanced Beekeeping class. So there's an opportunity. And to check that calendar out, so here's the one. It's submit an event. It's underneath resources, right in the middle. When you go down to OSBA, so you click on our regular logo, our calendar has completely been revamped. It's much easier on our end, the programming side, and the time and the dates are more accurate. We had the free version before. We went with the paid version now, and it gives us a lot of things. So you see the January. So right, you can click the link and register just like you did tonight if you use this link. Black Swamp Beekeepers is going to meet on January 6th. As you see the files that looks like paper is stacked up, I can click on this, and it gives all those times and dates that religiously every month where they meet or we meet on the first Monday of every month. So it gives all that information. If you go back, so you can see this the top 6 or 7 that are always on there. I can view calendar now. And as I view the calendar, it gives me the full entire month. I can look at all that different stuff going on. And I challenge all of you, go to other boards or go to other beekeeping meetings. Sometimes they have a better speaker. Sometimes it's, hands-on, and there's other things going on. So anything that's going on with OSBA, just like tonight, we have our board meeting. We have different things going on in the apiary meetings. We have our Zooms. All that stuff's going to be in here, so you'll know what's going on with OSBA and throughout the entire state. Some other things on here, if you go up to this calendar that's right here on the right, if you click the calendar, and I can go into list. List is going to let us put in your information, complete down how to get tickets to it, how to get the Zoom, or it's going to give you links for like how to register. You're going to run register at this address to run and go to the Northeast Ohio Pollinator Society. Some other things on here. If Roger's on here, when is your next? There's one of them in here we have for Mommy. Yes, right here. January 22nd. So this is their PDF for their advertisement. If your club event for Northeast pollinators, they want to send in a PDF, right here, we're going to be able to add, which we never were able to do before because it was the basic version. So now I can turn on and put this free advertisement for the club or event. Now I can click on their advertisement. And now that way, anybody in that area says, oh, I want to turn on to check out what's going on in Northwest Ohio. Or the public, which we get tons of phone calls about. Um, I keep chickens, or I do this, and now I want to get into permaculture, or I'm a backyard person, I'm in the country, and now I want to keep bees. Where can I go for a new beekeeping class? We can help advertise that for you. And then this artwork or this information will also be on our social media page once those dates come up. We're going to have one posting per day. So is that thing post as it posts, so it's not getting 3 and 4 posts a day and it's getting shoved down every day, roughly 8 a.m. You can come here and see the next thing it's getting popped up in this advertisement. And then you can go back to all events and then see the entire calendar. So we're doing it. And as when you submit an event or submit an event at ohiostatebeekeepers.org, it gives it to the scheduler for the calendar. It sends it to the social media person. It sends it to myself so I can change things in the website. If it's something official that we need to kind of advertise, like down there was the OSBA official newsletter, or for the mail for USPS, a donation letter. Just like when the floods happened in North Carolina, we put a thing on here with a link from their ABF that had when they were collecting money for the funds to help beekeepers down south. So if there's something majorly going on in Ohio, we will turn on make up artwork. We'll make a custom page up for it. And that way they can go in and you can read their current information or status of what's going on. Other than that, our new page, it has not, and I apologize for it, our new page is not up yet. If you go to All About OSBA, it's the official board members and directors. We're putting these photos up right now. Maumee Valley gives you the region, so each region has a director and rep. And then we have the executive board, which is myself, Lloyd Horst as vice president, Kelly Morris as secretary, William Riccio as treasurer. Then it also has Roger Myers as communication, so he does all this filing, keeping our Google group cleaned up, our email server cleaned up, and in training for a bunch of different stuff. And then we also have IT-support, which is Peggy Yale, which is helping with this calendar. So we're training everybody. There's 2 people on every committee. All of these names, our new feature that we're getting ready to upload and launch is there's going to be a picture with this person's name. So you're going to go, well, who's Lloyd? That's going to pop up a picture and it's going to have it in here. So you'll know a face with a name than it is a bunch of names down through. And that way when you see us out, you can turn around and walk up to us and go, hey, I have a question about OSBA. Or the first Sunday of every month, you can come here to the board or the brown baggers. Round table discussion. It's another board thing I'm on. So you can come in here. Please check out the website. The fall conference is getting ready to have a lot of information on. So if you go to conference information, a lot of new information as it's confirmed, you'll start seeing the hotel, where we're going to have it at, who the new board members will be. So you'll see this constantly updated. Once the information is done, the committee, the January 9th, the board, the entire board, we have a conference committee that's going to be starting and getting everything around. Roger and I are going to go out and check out a couple more locations. And then that date and time will be changed. And then all of a sudden you'll start seeing this information getting filtered in. And it's a trifecta, and I understand. People don't want to sign up for a conference until they have good speakers and good vendors. Vendors don't want to sign up till they got good speakers in a location. So there's a little trifecta. We'll get this information as soon as it's confirmed. We'll get it posted and up here. Other than that, you'll see a lot of new things that are going to come in. The affiliate program, certified honey judges. If you have a certified, you want a certified honey judge your stuff, all you do have to click that. And this list is going to be updated on January 15th once that committee starts contacting these people. So now you have a way to turn around and get an official honey judge. And then all these resources down below, everything should be wrapped up here within the next 2 weeks. We're getting the new board members trained. I kind of gave them the vacation of having the holidays off because, family comes first. And then after that, we turn on coming, OSBA comes in second at least. All right. That's all I have for tonight. I'm going to open this up to questions. Anybody have any questions about OSBA, beekeeping, chemicals, what you should be doing? And you're welcome to unmute yourself. And one of the new features that's on OSBA, and it was staring me right in the face, when you log in and you become a paid member, so you can go log in, or if not, you can do join and renew. This red border is going to pop up and it says, hello, Jamie, you are currently logged in. So that way you know you're logged in so you can see all the videos. And I'll go to that here in a second. That membership expires because we're the board members. We don't have one. But it would Tehran put in there and say it expires on January 15th, or it expires on February or March or next year in December. If you're not, if it's expired, it's going to tell you to go to join and renew your membership. So this is a nice thing because a lot of board members would log in, a lot of paid members would log in and go, how do I know I'm logged in? And if you know you're logged in, now you can go to videos. We did have everything on the YouTube, and now it's going to be privately broadcast. So now I can go in here. 2020, we had all the live webinar trainings, and here's all the YouTube videos. There's like 300 some odd videos we have to transfer in here. That's the responsibility of Roger. So I'm going to be training Roger on getting the rest of this done. So if I want to learn about spring packet or spring management, installation of prank nukes, there's Jamie Walters getting ready to tell you about it. If you click the link, it starts to play. I'll go ahead and pause it for a second. This is your full screen option here. So I can blow this up full screen. I can watch the entire video. You go down below in that nice right corner again, and I can shrink that up. Now I can go back and go, oh, now it's April, or let's say April or May. Now I'm getting into the honey flow, and now I want to start raising a few queens, and I want to do some splits. I'm going to go here and watch Dave Noble. Same thing. I can go full screen, watch Dave full screen, and then minus that back again. So you can see Honeybee Nutrition, Barb Bletcher on here. And it's everybody in Ohio or anybody throughout the state. We even have some international people that have done advertisement and then also came on and done talks with us. All right. Anybody have any questions?
Hey, Jamie.
Yes, ma'am.
What would be a good temperature to go check on my feed supplies and scrape out the bottom board on my hive?
Anytime I always tell absolute beginners, at least 40 degrees.
Okay.
Okay. Never break up the frames, never get in there.
No.
If you're going to open up the top, have everything with you. So if you have your sugar bricks with you, your fondant with you, if you're going to do a mountain camp with dry sugar, have all that stuff there with you. And then when you pop the top, so let's think of this as a nice sunny day, maybe a little bit of wind, but I don't want gusting wind with a wind chill factor. You can do it down to the 30s, but when you pop the top, I'm instantly going to look for a few things. So I'm going to be up. I'm going to have my veil on and ready to go because it's going to take that one girl to come out and pop you in the face. So you're going to have your veil ready, even have your smoker lit. If all else, it gives you practice. So have your smoker lit. If some things go kind of haywire, so you're going to pop that top. I'm going to instantly look for moisture. If I open that top and tip it, if it looks like a spray bottle, like you're going to wash the windows and you got a spritz bottle and it's just a little bit spritz where it has moisture in there, that's okay because they have to have water to take that real thick viscous honey and to take it into like a Gatorade, if you will. So they need that moisture and that water to go down there and help Tehran break that down. Also, they're living off that water too. So a little bit of water does not hurt them. If I flip that top and it's bone dry, they've got everything under control. Don't add water to it. So they've kind of got that regulated. But if I ever pop that top and I got water running or puddling in the top, then I want to ventilate or get a little bit like a 1/16 or a 16 penny nail and put right in between that and get that extra moisture out because wet bees are what? Dead bees, absolutely. I don't want water puddling or running down the inside of that colony because then they get chilled and then they're dead. So I'm going to look at that first. Number two, where are my bees? If I open that telescoping top and there sits the colony, There are some bees that have not read our books like Tom Seeley and go, oh, we're supposed to stay down below and, and do this, this, and this. There's some bees that live up top and they just love it up top. So you got to kind of assess, is the entire colony up there? And then take the colony and lift the back end before you do anything. Lift the back end. If it's completely light, maybe they're running out of resources. I don't say feed all the time because I like to leave on extra honey. But if they're completely up top and you've checked them once or twice and they're all the whole colony's up top, put on a maybe an 1.5 inch shim board or a medium or a pillow top or something you can get in and put in some resources. So put in a sugar block, put in some fondant, put in some winter patties. When I say winter patties, not pollen patties. Winter patties only have like 2% pollen in it with tons of complex sugars. Pollen patties that April and May when you want to grow brood and they got 30 to 38% pollen. So I'm going to turn around and check that. If the bees are down below, don't take your hive tool and rack on it and hit on it. Don't disturb the bees, but you can slightly put your ear up against the colony and you'll hear that real light hum. If you absolutely have to, take your hive tool and tap it once and you'll hear the revving up and then back down. Don't be beating things. Never start breaking the colony apart or lifting out frames at this point. Not till spring. The other thing to check is your front entrance. Clear that front entrance out. You can break that board. You can snap it out. Clear all them dead bees out, because if they do get a cleansing flight in, and that could be anywhere from 30 degrees all the way up till 50, 55 degrees, they're going to go out, excrete, turn around and take a crap and fly back in. So if they have that bottom entry board at least cleaned off, it's going to be hard to do when it's snowing all the time or anything else. But half of that colony in that August, September, October, as we were getting there, that colony size is going to die, half of it, because those winter bee or the fall bees are going to be dead. So there might have been 10,000, there might have been 15,000 bees dead. So as that bottom kind of gets debris in there, keep it cleaned out. At least have every box that they have a top entrance that they can get in and out. So you're checking it, you're looking at it, you're feeling the weight. If you need to put resources on, it's an insurance program. We all have car insurance. We hate to pay it, but if that colony's going to die, they're just dead bees. So if I put in a thing of fondant, or I put in some winter patty, or I put in some dry sugar, if you have a solid, or let's say the inner cover, and you have your slot, put some dry sugar right around there. It does a couple things. It lets them eat if they need it. It also hardens up with the moisture, so it draws moisture out of there. And in the spring, if they got this hard brick sugar, they're going to eat it in the springtime. It gives them an extra treat. And if you have an excess, then you can break it all up, put it in a bucket of warm water, and use it for 1-to-1 sugar water in the spring.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes, ma'am.
What if you have, like, I have the inner cover, then I have a medium box on top of that, which I have fondant on, and then I have layers of foam insulation in there. Is it okay to open that up when it's a lot colder and just see where the fondant is?
Yep.
As long as you're not opening the top covers?
Yeah. The only time I would break that inner cover off and look down, if it was that 40, 50, and let's say when you go outside, it feels like, oh, I could take my jacket off. That's when maybe I would pop that top. If I was really questioning what was going on, then I'd break the inner cover and look at all my slots. So all your gaps in a 10 frame box, you're going to have 11 slots. 8 frame box, you're going to have 9 slots, and look between the slots and see what's going on. If it's anything below that 40, 50, or you have a little bit of wind chill or it's colder, you have the perfect setup. So you have the inner cover, you have a medium box, you put your resources in there, that's your insurance program, your insulation up top to keep that nice moist air, and then you still have area up there that if that excess moisture drips, it's coming down on the inner cover and then it's not going anywhere. So that's a good setup. I used to run that for quite a while.
Hey, Jamie, can I cut in here?
Yeah, please do, Roger.
Carol, I scrape dead bees off any day I'm in the bees. I've done some research. Just inside that front entrance, that temperature is the same temperature as the outside. So no matter if it's 5 below zero, that front entrance is still 5 below zero. and you can scrape dead bees out whenever. Actually, I like scraping bees out when it's a little on the colder side because I don't get those stray bees that want to come out and greet me, right on the nose. So I like doing it on a rather colder day than like 40, because if you vibrate that high very much at 40, you're going to have some bees rolling out. And they usually, if you ever watch them when you're scraping those out, they're rolling and now they're pissed because you just rolled them, and they're going to let you know. Even with the veil on, they're going to just pester the crap out of you. So I scrape, dead bees out. I kind of look at the entrance when I was doing oxalic acid. A lot of mine didn't have any dead bees. It's been warm enough up until, let's say 15 days ago, that they were keeping everything pretty much cleaned out at the bottom. I did have a
Yep.
couple that had lots of dead bees and they may have something going on, but most of them didn't have very many dead bees.
Yeah, I have a enclosed trailer that I have a full colony in, and when we came home from our trip, our driveway was salt and peppered with dead bees all over the place. They had it got warm enough they could go in there and start cleaning everything out, and it has a solid bottom board and a 2-inch tube out of the trailer from the colony, and the driveway was just peppered. I'll bet there was probably 5,000 bees. So they've had time right now to get in there and clean things up. And
Okay,
and
thanks.
and to keep this open, if there's any other senior beekeepers on here that have advice or something that worked for them, you're more than welcome to trip in. Mike has a question. Are the OSBA judges affiliated with the American Honey Show Training Council? Yes and no at the same time. A little bit of background for OSBA. OSBA has always had Jim Thompson and John Grafton as our honey judges for Ohio, and they train in a different way of points. Roger Myers, it's on the call now. My wife Delilah Walters and myself are trained in the also, or my wife and I are also with OSBA, but we are training and getting our points. We just got some points when Roger Myers, they had their club for Maumee had an event, and we're trying to get our points for becoming an American judge. So there's a little bit of pushback on both sides. I'm not going to say one side or the other. The American standards, the American Honey Show, we've had down here. We're talking about doing that, but also I have to respect as the president that the American honey judges that Jim Thompson and John Grafton set up, if they move on and we don't have any more judges that way, yes, we'll probably move in the American Honey Show standards, just for the fact that we have Indiana that's already that way. Michigan, I've talked with Rich Whiskey, who's the president of Michigan. They're headed in that direction. And basically all around us, they have a good council that's coming together. But we are going to have some honey judges, an opportunity if John Grafton decides and accepts that we're going to have some honey judges. We're going to put on a honey judging class this year, maybe June or July. And then we might do the same thing if American Honey Standards wants to come down and do that. We'll try and do some training that way too. So hopefully that answers your question. And then on this, and under honey judges, let's see, under resources, certified honey judges, it's under resources. Dwight Wilson, Jim Thompson, John Grafton, Terry Lieberman Smith, Alex Zomchek, Lori Keers, Peggy Garnes, and Jeff Dickin. They are all in the training that Jim Thompson had put out. And this is the standard that was before the American, which used to be the Welsh system. I took the Welsh classes down in Florida years ago when I went down to the Bee College for Florida State with Jamie Ellis. When Jamie Ellis was coming in and they built their new place down in Florida, I went down and took that and kind of brought that up. My wife joined on. Roger and I we went to Hive Life last year. Last year we went to that. And then we took a class down, so we're getting our points for that. Good question. Anybody else? No other question. We got a good group of people. All right, I'll start calling some people out. Mr. Jeff Bird. Any questions? I know who the board members are. Mr. Jeff Curtis, you're welcome to ask.
Hey, Jamie.
Kathleen? Yes, sir.
I guess again, I'm in Jersey, and we're just going through a nasty cold spell right now. Um, does other people treat what I've not done oxalic acid yet. I still have to get the equipment, but what I've typically done during the broodless period, I've to do an early season knockdown. I would do Amitraz, the Apivar strips, starting sometime between Christmas and New Year's. I got half my hives done because it was still pretty mild up in the 40s, low 50s, and that was great. And I checked them for food also. But I'm still I'm still have to go, and we're down in the 20s now, so that's not an option. But
Yep.
does anybody else in the I guess throughout the state you do that? I mean, right now because of mites and so forth, obviously we're all at, have a major challenge. But I'm up to treating 3 times a year. I think some people around Jersey are going up to 4 times a year. Is that the case out in Ohio as well?
I teach to do alcohol wash every month, and then
Okay.
only treat if you need it. If that mite count gets above the threshold of 9 per 300 or 3 per 100, then look at your options of what you're going to treat with. I've never heard of anybody treating that late. Roger, any thoughts on that?
I haven't heard anybody up here doing it that way, but it should work very good as long as you get that strip in the cluster. That's that's the main thing is get it in the cluster. They're broodless, so it should kill all the exposed mites.
Yep.
And yeah, the way our crazy weather was, yeah, the last day I was doing oxalic acid, it was 40 degrees in the morning. It worked perfect. And just about the time I got done, it was 55, 60, and the whole yard exploded on me. And I'm glad I was done because everybody was flying. It became chaos. My truck's covered with poop and dead bees. I had dead bees laying on the hood of the truck because they were carrying them out and dropping them. But yeah, and the next warm spell, they still, your weather's like our weather. About every 10 days, everything flips. We're going to have cold weather for about 2 weeks here. They'll probably warm up, and you may get another day where you could finish your job, Jeff.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, and I mean, what I've been trying to do. I mean, this is not the only time I treat. This is just
Yep.
one of 3 times. But considering the price of everything is going through the roof again, especially with Amitraz with Apivar strips, instead of using 4 strips per hive, it kind of saves you a little bit of money just doing the top boxes. That's where most of the bees are this time of year for us.
Okay. Around here, the probably the biggest around this area is hitting them with oxalic when they're broodless.
Yeah.
So for us, between that Thanksgiving and Christmas, at least 38 degrees and up. Then to go out, use an oxalic burner or your apple or oh, Carol, you're on here.
Dribble.
Uh
The dribble.
yeah, the dribble. Dribble's an excellent way to do that if it's up and above. Or your oxalic burners with the battery oxy vape, and Duron using it that way.
And now we will have the new version with the extended release.
Yep. So there's some good ways. I always teach that once you start getting into season, it's like going to the doctor's office. You don't go to the doctor's office and go, hey, give me a steroid shot and give me this, and and just because you're killing a bug on a bug.
Yeah.
And basically, every time you're treating, you're hurting those bees some way or another. So if you turn on do an alcohol wash in April, May, June, as that threshold goes up, then look at your Honeybee Health Coalition book and turn on and go, okay, what can I use? Where am I at? And let me go over that just real quick. My computer
But
probably.
Jamie, obviously, we can't do alcohol washes in the winter, so you would still recommend
No.
oxalic acid just
Yep, oxalic acid.
Yes.
Honeybee Health Coalition. Varroa guide.
He's looking at basically the oxalic acid this time of year is trying to clean up any mites you have, so you start the year at 0, or
Yes.
as close to 0 as we can get.
Yeah, on this, and I recommend this in fact, I usually buy a bunch of extra books just to hand out to newbies. The Varroa guide on this, and it's honeybeehealthcoalition.org, resources, Varroa management. And I'll tell you what, I'll put this in the chat for everybody. Meeting chat. Put that in your tab to on and keep, just to keep for yourself. If you don't, even if you don't want to read that entire book, they got videos on every different chemical, how to put it on, how to do a proper alcohol wash, where to put the chemicals, what protection or PPE, personal protection equipment you need. It's got every video in there. So if you're a YouTuber and you go, hey, I don't like to read, but I like to watch videos, right here's a step-by-step. Down below, the free resource guide. They're getting ready to come out the brand new one, which not a lot of changes, but there are a few because of the new oxalic. So if you come down here and click the access guide, please take time. And right now, it's snowing, it's blowing, it's cold as bejeebers. Go out there and download this book or pamphlet and read this information. It not only tells you about the bees itself and the varroa and what it does. You know, here we are in this dormant period. We're going to come out in April, May, and it's going to be, your mites are going to, if you didn't do anything last year, your mite count's going to be a little bit higher. But if you kept everything under control back in August, with that next generation was going to feed those winter bees as they were being raised, you're going to come out in this nice slow. So as the bees start to build, so does the Turon varroa start to build. Somewhere in this May, June, July, August, that peak, and then we're down the other side. They get ready, and those winter bees are starting to be laid to raise the winter bees that are going to make it those 3 months at the end. That varroa. So if you come in here and let's say May, your count's only 2. June, if you go by the numbers of the population of what the varroa lays in worker brood, is 1.8. Drop off the 0.8 because they desiccate, they dry out. So she's laying 1-to-1 ratio. Once we hit May, June, and tons of brood, of drone brood is in, she's getting 2.1 daughters because of those extra days between a worker being born in 21 days and a drone being born on 24. She gets out an extra mature daughter. So as she gets that extra mature daughter out, it's 2-to-1 ratio. So that the drones or the varroa is building up even faster. So you're going to get that phase in here. In this down below, it goes through the alcohol wash. Please, I'm an Ohio State ODA inspector. If you want to do this, if you want to do the powdered sugar, then take the same powdered sugar bees that you're trying to save because you didn't want to kill 300 bees to save 60,000 bees. Take that same and go, okay, I got 1 on the powdered sugar. Then do an alcohol wash right behind it. And I guarantee the numbers will be completely mixed. There will never be 1 in powdered sugar and 1 in alcohol. It'll always be 1 or 2 in powdered sugar and 6, 7, or 2 or 3 or 4 more in alcohol wash. I've got to say this as an inspector. Don't go out and do powdered sugar and go, okay, those are accurate numbers. Alcohol, you're only killing 300 bees. How many bees are born or laid every day by the queen? 1,500 to 2,000. You know, you're saving your colony of 60 to 80,000 bees. How much is your time? How much is your money? How much is everything? How much did you have invested in that first jar of honey? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 to get that first jar. So do it scientifically, use the alcohol or soap method every month. And then you'll see when that starts to get out of kilter, when you're starting to do an alcohol wash, and you see in here also, it has the ether rolls, different things. It has the CO2 method, the chemicals, synthetic. I call these the sledgehammer. The synthetic chemicals, those are the heavy ones that if you have to use them and that mite count gets to 12 per 300, yeah, I need to start using something heavy. If you like the essential oils, there's some in there and they're good. There's scientific method behind it. The acids, that's my little hammer. So your Mite Away Quick Strips, your Formic Pro, Oxalic, Hop Guard, Screen Bottom, here's your non-cultural methods. Screen Bottom Board help out. Sanitation, absolutely. I don't want to be carrying something with my hive tool that I got into it that had EFB on it and go check the rest of my colonies. Make sure your hive tool is clean. Make sure your gloves are clean. If all else, you got them leather gloves you spent $30 on, put nitro gloves on the outside and check a bee yard. And then peel those off, put a new one on and check another bee yard. Drone interruption or drone brood removal. That green drone comb, once she starts laying drones, if you learn that method, all you have to do is go out and remove it on the 21st day before they emerge on the 24th day, freeze that frame, stick it back in. They'll eat all the heads of the drones off for vitellogelin, for energy, and then they'll turn around, remove the bodies, and start laying all new drones in it. And you've done everything. And Peggy Garnes is probably the best person that I know that does that. And it's also considered a brood interruption. Down below also gives you the MSDS sheets of all these chemicals, what they're usually, what's highly effective, what's not. So this is a good information. And if you don't know, bring it back to one of these meetings and say, hey, I got a question on Apistan. I got a question on, I don't use all the stuff. Roger uses different stuff than I do. And we'll ask everybody on here about what you do and what you don't. A nice thing on this, if you don't even like to use that, there's a decision tool. Well, let me go back here one real quick. Where's the decision tool? I think I've seen it. Here's one just personally for yourself. And I'll put this in the chat for everybody. C and V on that. Here's the decision tool. This is a little app, free app. It's not downloadable on your phone. You have to go to their website. I can click this and it's automatically going to give me options. So don't listen to somebody that's down in Florida when we're in Ohio freezing off, or in New Jersey, we're kind of at the same plane, but we're in different area. Use this yourself. So this tool will walk you through the whole 9 yards. It's going to turn on and go click here. After sampling, so alcohol wash. Do your varroa mite counts exceed the treatment threshold? 9 per 300 or 1 or 3 per 100. So I'm just going to say, let's say it was at 6. Yes, my mite levels are at or above the threshold. So let's say we're getting close to it. Are you open to synthetic chemicals? That's the sledgehammer. I'm going to say no right now. No, I don't want to put that harsh chemical in there. Is brood present? Let's just say we're in April right now. Yeah, tons of brood. Do you have honey supers on? No, they're not building up yet, but they're getting there. Is your colony population increasing at peak, decreasing, or dormant? Well, that April, I'm right here, I'm increasing. And it gives you, it browns out or grays out the Apivar Apistan check mite, because that's all the sledgehammer for me. Takes out Hop Guard 2, but it gives me that oxalic, Mite Away Quick Strips, Formic Pro, Formic Acid, Apivar Life, or Apigard. Roger's probably the best for Apigard because he uses it quite a bit. And then I can turn on and say, okay, I want to use Formic. But know that in Formic, that has a threshold down here, what the temperature is. 50 degrees and 85 degrees. Maybe it's not 50 degrees yet. So what do I have to go back to? I can go back, return to the treatment options, and look for another chemical. Or I can go down here and watch the treatment video. The more educated you are on this, take that book, print it out, highlight these things, because there's not one chemical that kills it 100%. Even oxalic doesn't kill it 100%. And they'll all say here in the MSDS sheet that they kill it 80% or 82%. And that's if you did it perfectly, put it on at the right time, the right temperature, and did everything else. And even Formic, do you want to treat for 14 days or 20 days? And all of these, Hop Guard has come out with Hop Guard 2 now Hop Guard 3. So I want to go with Apigard. I like what Roger gave me some good advice at one time. Now I can treat at 2-week intervals, 90 degrees. Now, well, there's no temperature. Temperature 59 to 105. So yeah, I can get that 15. Yeah, I might be able to do that once I hit May. And here's some other options to it. Or I can go back and go, okay, Mite Away Quick Strips or oxalic. Okay, what can I do with oxalic? And it gives you all this stuff each time. And this is just personal for yourself. Behind all the research and everything of all these companies, and I think there's 13 companies that help with this, the Honeybee Health Coalition, there's tons of companies. And if I get lost in this, I just go back to restart the thing over again. And if I go, and let's just go with what he said for New Jersey. So once this starts here to begin, my sampling, yep, in the fall, it was high. And if you don't, go ahead and say yes and see what things are in there. Now, right now, there should be no brood present. Are honey supers on? Yes, there are. Right now, they're sitting just about dormant. Hop Guard 2, that's an option. That's what they're recommending. And Hop Guard 2, I'm 99% sure there's not a heat or no heat on this. Nope, none. Effective range, 75 to 95%, with little effect, a little effect, or more effective with little or no brood. So right there's another good option. So go with the science. Please stay away with just hopping on YouTube or people that put bees down their shirts or people that show off. The people that are showing it on YouTube, other than organizations, colleges, universities, researchers, and things like that, it's people that are doing things. If they're constantly, and you maybe know them personal, and they're keeping bees over the winter and they have good success, then follow them. If you don't know them and they're just kind of showing off, stay away from it because number one, you don't know where they're at. Number two, you don't know if they like Fat Bee Man at one time was putting in wintergreen and all kinds of the essential things, putting it in a bee fogger or an electric fogger, insect fogger, shoving it in and just pulling the trigger. Well, what did it do? I don't know. So just stay with the research. And the best thing I can tell you is up here. That is my go-to for everybody. I even hand these out when I'm an inspector. All right. Mike says, who attended the NAHBE? I think there's quite a few people in here that did. I do have a photo that I'm going to post tonight on the OSBA Facebook page. There's probably 30, 35 people in the picture. So there was a good dose of people that went. Anybody else tonight? And you're welcome to ask anything. Anything about OSBA, bees, membership this year, membership renewal. If not, I'm going to leave it up to Mr. Roger. Any closing comments, Mr. Roger?
No, I'm good.
All right. Miss Angie? Nope,
Fine
think she's
here,
quiet.
just waiting for the snow.
All right. Miss Carol? Nope,
We're
she
all
must be
good
done.
here. All
All
good
right.
here.
All right. Mr. Chris Earnhardt?
Hey, I'm fine. Just
All right.
getting ready for the new year, and we'll see a lot of you folks on Wednesday.
Sounds like a winner. Mr. Dave Collins? All right, he might be sleeping. Miss Kimberly? She's a board member.
Not much to say. I just finished. I work in retail, so I've been pretty busy. So it's time to check all the emails out and everything, and get caught up.
All right. Miss Peggy? Miss Peggy, IT?
Yeah, I've just been helping. There's been a few people with issues with resetting their password because the recovery phone number was set to the old person. So I've just been resetting those. And there will be a Facebook post tomorrow is on how to use the new calendar to check for new beekeeper classes.
All right. And I need to talk to you afterwards because when we had people or you asked people to sign up for the 2-part authentication, the new people can't get signed in. So I'll talk to you afterwards.
Okay.
Mr. William, Mr. Treasurer.
Everything's good here.
All right. All right. That's all our board members and directors and reps that are on tonight. I hope everybody has a good night. I'm going to wrap this up. I always say I'm going to keep it at an hour. If it was a big conversation and kept on leading, as long as you guys want to ask questions, I'll keep answering them. So I wish everybody a good 2025. I do ask that if you do not know, if somebody in your club or in your region says, wow, I would like to join OSBA and what are they about? Have them jump on to the February roundtable. Everybody, it's free to turn on and come in. It's free to register. And we would like to use this as a resource to turn on and answer any questions. You know, if it's out OSBA, keeping healthy bees. If you turn on want drawings, I'll turn on and come in here and make custom drawings about your bees and setting up your bee boxes and everything else and doing the artwork and showing you, okay, move bees here, do this, do that. We have a sticker contest of Save the Honeybees. We've had this design for approximately 4, maybe 5 years. And we're going to be putting this out. So here's the artwork. If you're artistic, you can draw a custom bee up or Save the Bees or whatever logo you want. We're going to have some board members vote on it. And then we're going to put these into production, 5 or 10,000, depending on what we do. We'll have to talk to the treasurer first, and then we're going to put some money towards it. And then we'll turn on have them as a donation to OSBA. You can get a sleeve of decals. So that's one of the other things that we're doing in the background. Other than that, I want to wish everybody a good 2025. I hope everybody has healthy bees come the springtime. Please get in there and at least keep the front entrance clean. Take a pop in there. I call it popping the hood. Put your veil on, go out there and pop it, take a peek. I wouldn't be doing it in the next few days because the snow blast from the Arctic is pushing all the way down to Florida. So keep things nice and calm. Go ahead and download your Honeybee Health Coalition book, and maybe there's a pop quiz at the next round table. All right, everybody, have a good night. I
too,
appreciate your
Jeremy.
time.